Hey, Determined Destiny family, it's Coach Kevin coming back at you with another video for our young men and helping them get closer to their destiny. Our focus here at Determined Destiny is to give our young men the skills, the knowledge, and the tools they need that will help them be more successful in life, to help them understand what it takes to reach their destiny, to help them be more determined about their destiny. Check out the website determineddestiny.org, where you can find lots of content, articles, conversations around what it takes for our young men to be more successful. Also, I ask that you subscribe to this YouTube channel. Hit the like button if the video is giving you some content that's useful. Don't be bashful. Hit that like button so we can continue to produce information and videos that help our young men be successful. So today I want to spend a little time with you talking about that inner voice and understanding that inner voice and listening to that inner voice and using that inner voice to help you be more successful, be more determined about your destiny. So what we got to first be able to do is understand what our gifts and talents are. You know, that's the first thing about accomplishing your destiny, helping our young men understand what their gifts and talents are. Even at an early age, you can begin to identify those things, whether it's their ability to think and problem solve. That can be a gift or a talent, and we've got to encourage that. And when we notice that about them, we've got to put a spotlight on that and help them to cultivate that and develop that ability even more. Whether it's a musician or a athlete, or their ability to do math at a high level, or reading comprehension, or dance or theater, whatever it is that they are good at, we want to help them identify what those gifts and talents are. And once we help them with that part of it, then we got to help them to hear that inner voice inside of them that's helping them cultivate and explore and demonstrate that gift and talent. So let's dig into this. As we talk about that inner voice, I want to talk about three components of that inner voice. That inner voice is there to help us to be successful, to identify complacency, and to understand the struggle. Okay? I'm going to go back the other way. So I'm using this kind of linear format here. If you were to visualize a line here today, as we look at this linear line and we talk about struggle, complacency, and success. I want you to really be able to grab that picture in your mind, because in order to get to success, you got to understand that it's going to be a struggle, and there's going to be a point in there where you try to get complacent in the middle. And you have to go past that complacency in order to get to the success. So let's talk about this a little bit. Now, the way that I talk about this, I'm going to talk to you about it from the standpoint of success first, then complacency, and then the struggle. Because the struggle is where the difficulty is. Success is the fruit of the work that you put in to get there. So let's talk about this. When we talk about success and that inner voice that's trying to get you to this point right here, you have to realize and understand that it's decisions. It's about discipline and decisions that gets you to this point over here of success. In the discipline, you have to be willing to ask yourself some questions. You have to be willing to ask yourself, and there's lots of questions that you can ask, but I want you to focus in on 4 particular questions. Will I regret this decision later? And if you say, no, I will not regret this decision later, then push forward with whatever that behavior is. And then you have to ask yourself, will this take me closer to my destiny? And if you can answer yes to that question, then you push forward with whatever that behavior is or that activity is that you're doing. Then you have to ask yourself, is this productive? Is it productive? Because some things that we do, we're doing them and we're busy and we're feeling like we're getting something done, but it's really not productive, taking us closer to our destiny. So we got to be able to identify those things with that inner voice, asking these questions. Is this productive? And the last question that I want you to be able to ask yourself, or get your young man to be able to ask himself, is this helpful to others? Because if you can't answer yes to 3 out of 4 of those questions, then you probably should not be doing whatever that is that you're doing. So I'm going to use the example of me trying to lose 10 pounds. And I'm working on this 10 pounds and I'm committed to it now. I'm going to get to success. I promise you, I'm going to get to success with these 10 pounds that I'm working on, okay? But what I have to be able to do is, in that moment, when I'm deciding whether I'm going to eat that cheesecake or not, I have to decide. I have to ask myself these questions. Will I regret this later? Will this take me closer to my destiny? Is it productive? And is it helpful for others? And if I can't answer yes to 3 or 4 of those questions, I need to push away from the table and leave that cheesecake sitting there. That's tough. That's tough to do. But I'm going to exercise some discipline and be able to do that, okay? And if I push past that middle point of complacency, being complacent with the weight that I'm at, if I can push past that complacency spot and I'll get to success. So let's talk about the complacency, that place of complacency where you're like, I'm comfortable. Life isn't bad right here. So let's talk about, I'm going to use an analogy of one of our young men, and it's basketball season, so I use this analogy. He's an athlete. He's a basketball player. He wants to be good. He wants to be a starter. He wants to be that one that the colleges are really looking for. He's made varsity, and now he's riding the bench. And he gets complacent because to get to that next level of being that 5-star athlete requires that you get up at 5 a.m., that you take care of your homework the night before, that you're hitting the gym early, that you're continuing to hit the weights, and that you're watching film and, just shooting and moving your feet and working out a whole lot more than anybody else. To get to that next level of success, it requires more work. But a lot of times what happens is we get stuck in that place of complacency. Well, I've accomplished this much, so I'm okay right here. But the thing about it is that inner voice, it won't be quiet. If you really want to get to that level of success and you have that desire in you, that real desire in you, that inner voice is not going to let you stay in that complacency place. We got to be willing to listen to that inner voice. When it says get up and go work out. When it says don't eat that, that's not good for you. When it says, hey, put in the extra time and get this homework done so you can have some free time to do some other things later. That inner voice is going to tell you that. And you have to be willing to listen to that inner voice to get to success. Get through complacency and get to success. Now, remember, we're talking about this linear focus here, this line that gets you to success. You got success on this end, you got complacency in the middle, and you got the struggle right here on this side. To begin anything that takes you towards success, it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a struggle to develop those talents and gifts that you need to get to success. You got to be willing to put in the work over here. And then once you've accomplished a little bit, don't stop here. Continue to push through to get to success. So let's take a musician, for example, who's learning how to mix music together and work with beats or instruments and learning how to get the rhythm and the song and the words and all of that to jive together. And once you have that understanding, you think that, okay, I'm here. I got that musical knowledge, that musical sense. I know how to bring things together. I can really flow on some things. But you just have the knowledge. You just have the understanding. You hadn't really reached the level of success. Don't stop right here in the middle with complacency. Be willing to push through to get to success. Be willing to ask yourself those 4 questions. Will I regret this later? Will this take me closer to my destiny? Is this productive? Is this helpful for others? If you can say yes, do the work. Don't stop right there in complacency. Do the work to get to success. Last thing I want to talk to you about is taking action. When you come from, you're sitting here in complacency and that inner voice is saying, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. You've got to be willing to take action to get to success. 2 letters. G-O. Go. Get up and go. And do the work that it takes to get to success. If you're willing to do that, I promise you, you'll reach your destiny. You'll teach yourself, you'll train your brain to do the things that it takes to get to your destiny. Be more determined. Don't stop in the middle at complacency because you've accomplished a certain level of understanding or a certain level of success. When that inner voice is saying, there's more, I want to get to more. And that's that fire inside of you. You got to keep that fire going so that you can prove to yourself that you can accomplish your destiny. And you'll know when that inner voice is speaking to you. It's almost like you remember that cartoon of those 2 devils or the 2 things sitting on your shoulder. There's a devil on this side and there's an angel on this side. That's that inner voice. The devil's saying, nah, you're good right here. You've done a great job. Yeah, just take it easy now. And the angel on the other side is saying, no, I want more. You've got more to give. Be willing to do more. You've got to not settle in the complacency place. Be willing to push through and get to more. Your destiny awaits. I'm Coach Kevin. This is Determined Destiny. We're here for you. We're in the struggle with you. We're going to push through complacency and help you reach your destiny. Hit the like button. Don't be afraid to let somebody know of the good things that are going on here at Determined Destiny. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and share this information with somebody you care about. Take care. See you soon.